Today we're talking about the new Pokemon Direct that just dropped, well, today. I know this is a little different from my usual content, but I still hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, to get into it, it was a 20-minute long Direct focusing on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Sword and Shield, with a tiny sprinkle of Pokemon Home. If you haven't seen it, here's a quick recap. It started out with announcing that they were remaking the original Mystery Dungeon game for the Switch in HD and adding some extra content. Then came the meat of the video, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield expansion pass, where they were adding new content for a price of $30 and a little information on Pokemon Home. Now let's get into the spicy stuff. I was never even going to make a new video on the new expansion pack or even the Direct at all until I saw people on Twitter defending Game Freak and actually getting upset at fans that were disappointed to see this content as a DLC pack. By the way, my Twitter is in the description. Some of the content they were offering in the DLC should have been included in the original game. I get why some of the fans were upset this was a DLC pack. For example, some of the content they were offering in the DLC should have been included with the original game. For example, the Gigantamax forms for the starters would be expected, as usually they give the gimmick to the starters, like in Kalos. Gigantamax is basically Mega Evolutions with a twist, so we can easily compare it to Gen 6. In Gen 6, the base game had Mega Evolutions for the starters and the Kanto starters, as expected. However, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, they locked this behind a paywall and only gave it to Charizard, their favorite Pokemon of all time. Literally, Charizard cannot have more content. It's physically impossible. Another thing is how they're adding 200 more missing Pokemon back into the game. This means they lied about how they couldn't finish the models in time. They were just saving it as a DLC. They're literally willing to lie to our faces just so they can make a little extra cash. Even with the inclusion of these new Pokemon, this still won't be all the missing Pokemon in the game. That means Pokemon are still going to be locked behind your old games, even though you're paying an extra $30 DLC to get them. The only bright side I see to this is they won't be adding this content into another game and calling it a definitive edition, like Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where these games are unfinished and they're just going to add DLC that they should have been in the base game. But now that I think about it, they're still going to be making a definitive game with even less content, so people will have to repurchase the whole game. So now you might be saying, well, how about the other content in the pack? But I say, is the content really worth half a Switch game? Is the content really half of Pokemon Sword or Shield? Because it's not. The extra content would be worth it if it was $15, but it's not. It's $30 and it's $40 Canadian. So I clearly understand why people are being upset over this. This is something that should have been included in the base game. I get the DLC part of them adding extra islands and stuff. Yes, that makes sense. It could have been a $15 or $20 DLC pack, but it's not. It's $30 with content that should have already been in the base game. So people who can't buy the DLC pack, they won't be receiving content that they should have in the first place. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. Those are my thoughts on this new Pokemon Direct. I want to hear your guys' opinions in the description below. If you guys agree with me or don't, leave it in the comments below and we'll talk it out, because I usually reply to all the comments. Either way, I know this is not my normal content. I still have an animation coming soon, so stick around guys. See you guys in the next one.